I'll probably read it just because it sounds so unusual and I don't get it. I'm very confused, but I think it could be good. And welcome back everybody to Chibi Reading. I am Chama, aka Chi, and today I'm going to be tier ranking. I wanted to do a tier ranking video since I discovered book 2, since I saw my first tier ranking video. So today I'm going to be ranking 21 new releases of 2021. I know that that I don't buy new releases, but I love adding them to my TBR. Like, I love adding them to my want to reads on Goodreads. And really though, are you even a book lover if your want to read shelf on Goodreads isn't at least twice as long as the books you've already read shelf on Goodreads? Like, are you? Ask yourself that, or you're just maybe like a normal person, but we move. So today I'm going to be tier ranking 21 new releases of 2021. So if you want to see a new release tier ranking video, stay tuned. First, let me explain the categories. So the first one is the top of the tier. Add that pre-order to cart. I don't buy new releases, and you best believe I don't pre-order nothing. I don't pre-order nothing. Where's the instant gratification? What's the point? I really need serotonin to have a steady release into my mind constantly because my body don't produce it for its own. So a pre-order doesn't do that. But I will make 1 to 2 exceptions a year, a decade, and we'll see if any of these land the list. The second is 5-star prediction, so I already know that these are going to be 5 stars, so just add it there. The third is I only pay ebook money for it, so I'm not dropping $10. I'll drop 5, maybe 6, but it's not worth like the full extent of my book coin to put in all that money into this book. The fourth one is maybe if it's free, which means if it's on Kindle Unlimited, I'll read it. Maybe, but my money, my hard-earned money, my tuition money is not going towards the book that ends up in this category. And return to sender, which is just like return to the publisher, tell the author to run it back, tell the publisher to run it back, tell the editor to please halt production of this book because it just doesn't seem like it's worth it. Okay, so the first book is A Dark and Hollow Star by Ashley Shuttleworth. I don't know too much about this book, but I know it surrounds 4 queer teens who are ritualously killed in the Fae world. So the kind of world is fairies and Fae, and 4 teens. One's a prince, one's the prince's guardian, one's a half Fae, I think half human, and the other one is a fury. So 4 of them are killed centuries ago in a ritualistic, gruesome murder that kind of like rocks the city of Toronto. It threatens to expose the fairy world into the human world. So they each hold kind of like a key piece to why these murders happen. Their whole mission is tantamount to ensuring that the Fae world does not come into the human world. So this sounds amazing. So it's young adult. And my goal for 2021 is kind of to read more adult and read less young adult. But if you're doing it, you're doing it. A Dark and Hollow Star sounds great. I'm not gonna pre-order it, but I will give it a 5-star prediction. It sounds 5-star to me. So my first 5-star prediction. Next one is Emotion of Great Delight by Tahera Mafi. Tahera Mafi is the author of Shatter Me series, I'm pretty sure. One of my least favorite series. I do not like, I'll go into, I should make a video on all the books I did not like of 2020. I may do that, but Tahera Mafi is not the author of one of my favorite books, but this cover. Gorgeous. And Emotion of Great Delight, the title also, it elicits a lot of emotion. It sounds like it's going to be something that like it's thought-provoking. And let's just go back to the fact that this cover. So this sets in 2003. It's after the U.S. Declared war on Iraq and around the American political sphere in that. And then this is around Shadi. She wears hijab and she keeps her head down. So that's kind of the description. And she's going through a lot of family troubles right now. And her best friend has kind of mysteriously dropped her. So everything is kind of crumbling. So the ending of the synopsis is everything is kind of falling apart. And she's just trying to hold herself together, hold everything together until everything changes, and the only thing that's after that is that she explodes. So in my head, this means that she is caught up in a militaristic explosion or some type of war effort that results in her being part of the explosion, and it just sounds like something I need to read. I think especially those of us living in the West only get such a one-sided story of the war that's happening in the Middle East and kind of like the American intervention, the American unnecessary occupation of these areas in the Middle East. So I really do believe believe that this is something that I should read. This is something I want to read, and you know, I want to give Tahera and Mafi another chance. This cover is beautiful, and I do want to be very intentional on reading more books about the Muslim community. And I feel like there's a lot of cross-sectionalism with a lot of people of color and their religious identities. I feel like it's not always explored in books, so I kind of want to be more intentional about exploring that. All that being said is 5-star prediction. It's like I want to give it a 5-star prediction, but I know me, I am an emotional wreck. I cry at everything. So, and I won't even realize I'm crying. So I know I'm going to cry, but I know this is going to be a 5-star prediction. But it's gonna be hard, but 5-star prediction. The next book is Blood Heir by Ilona Andrews. And Ilona Andrews, I think this is her, so this is adult, I'm glad this is the first adult. And it's adult paranormal romance or urban fantasy. It's centered in Atlanta, and there's kind of magic and technology are competing for supremacy. I love that, you know, I love that. I work in technology, so I love that. 8 years ago, this girl left Atlanta, and now she's back with a new face, a new magic, and a new name, Ariel Ryder. So the girl who left is called Julia Lenwart, and she comes back as Ariel Ryder. So that's interesting. A new face, plastic surgery or something. And mother Kate Daniels. I do know that Ilona Andrews, I think, has a series with Kate Daniels. So this may be a prequel or sequel to that series, or it's set in the same world. So if her true identity of this girl who has a new face is discovered, people will die, people will just die. So her plan is to solve the murders. These murders are happening, prevent a prophecy from being fulfilled, and get out without being recognized. Okay. I don't really like prophecy things. I don't know. I don't like predestined things. I feel like it removes agency from characters, and agency is a very big thing for me. So I don't really like predestiny, and I do like the idea of there's a new face. Like, that's really interesting. So I think I'll pay ebook money for it. And ebook money is also mass market paperback money. So if this comes out in mass market paperback, I think I will get it. Yeah, but 5-star prediction, no. Okay, so that's where that is. The next book is Called Down the Hawk by Maggie Stiefvater. Maggie Stiefvater is the author of the Shiver series, which is a YA werewolf paranormal book, which I really love, and I haven't read anything from her since then. So I'm excited for this one. The dreamers walk among us, and so do the dream pool. So Ron Lynch is a dreamer. He can pull things out of dreams. That reminds me of the Wake series by Lisa Mann, which is one of my favorite series of all time. He can pull things out of dreams, and then Jordan is a thief. The closer she comes to a dream object, she becomes tied to it. That's very interesting. And then Carmen Farrock Lane, her brother was a dreamer and a killer, and so she has seen what dreaming she can do to further. So this one's just about dreams. It doesn't say much in the synopsis, but because it's Maggie, because it's about dreams, it does say that it has some of the characters are part of the LGBTQIA plus community. I don't know, honestly, I'm gonna give this one 5-star prediction because I don't know. Does Maggie make non-5 stars? Ask yourself that question, and then question why I put this in 5-star, because it makes sense to me. It makes sense to me. Okay, the next one is Creatures of Passage by Morowa Yejide. So she is a native, oh no, she's Nigerian. I don't know the last name, but she might be. She's a native of Washington, and I've heard, so the synopsis of this does not make sense to me, and it's so long, but it has to do with a nephew talks to a person at the river, refers to as the Riverman. So Dash is a 10-year-old who witnesses a molestation at his school. So that's something very, very traumatic for a 10-year-old to go to. And after that, he starts having conversations with this mysterious entity at the river who he refers to as the Riverman. So the main character is Nnedi. So Dash arrives at Nnedi's door and tells her about all of his encounters with the Riverman, this mysterious man, and somehow that brings it so Nnedi has to kind of come to terms with the people that she left behind and face the realities of what the Riverman means for kind of like her past. I really don't understand what this book is doing. I don't understand it. The synopsis on Goodreads is full of blurbs. The blurbs don't give me any other insight, but they're so long. I do not get what this book is trying to do, but it is a woman of color author, and it sounds intriguing. It does kind of sound like a bit of a mystery thriller, so not my most coveted genre. So I'm gonna put it out. I'll only pay ebook money for it because I'll probably read it just because it sounds so unusual and I don't get it. I'm very confused. But I think it could be good, and it's a woman of color author, bumps you up, so I'll pay ebook money for it. The next book is Defy the Night. The next book is Defy the Night by Bridget Kemmerer. I think I just bought a book by Kemmerer. It's Defy the Night series in book 1, and woo, it's a long synopsis. Not gonna read all that. King Harrison rules Canela with an iron fist. He and his brother inherited a kingdom, so he has to. A sickness lingers among his people. There's an outlaw. Oh, this is actually young adult, so it's young adult high fantasy. So there's an outlaw that's met for death, and she likes it that way. At night, she and her best friend ride, and they kind of are the Robin Hood for these people. So they steal and they distribute food to the poorest people. There's a plague going on, and rumors have been spreading that the cure for the plague that is usually allocated to the bourgeoisie no longer works, and people are kind of going on their own. People are acting as vigilantes, people are acting as assassins, people are kind of doing all kinds of things and trying to overthrow the king. This sounds like a lot going on. It sounds like a lot going on. It reminds me a lot of Mary Lou's series. So I don't know. I've never read Bridget Kemmerer before, so I'm going to say I'm gonna do. I'll if it's on Kindle Unlimited, I'll read it, but I'm not gonna do any steps on my own to read this book. Empire of the Vampire. This is by J. Kristoff. I have 2 J. Kristoff books that I just bought, but I've never read them. So this one is vampires. It's been a minute since we have vampires around here. So there is no sunrise in this world, and the vampires just walk. Just be roaming. And so there is the main character. He's the last of a kind of group that is set to eradicate all of the vampires. He's in prison because he killed the vampire king, and kind of goes through what kind of led up to him killing the king. It says forbidden love spell, this is undoing, betrayal that saw his order annihilated. So it kind of goes through kind of like the past and what led to the killing of the vampire. I'm not seeing a lot that I care about in this synopsis. I love vampires, but I'm not seeing a lot that I care about. J. Kristoff, I don't have any like information on his tenure or information on what he could provide for me personally. So with that being said, I think if it's free, I will add it to, I think if it's free, I'll read it if it's free, and that's as far as I'm going there. Let's see, Honey Girl. So I know a lot about Honey Girl. Honey Girl, first of all, cover gorgeous out the frame. So Honey Girl is about a girl who's currently getting her PhD. You know, we love grad student. Life is hard for us. So she's currently getting her PhD. She is a black woman. I believe she's a black woman, woman of color, currently getting her PhD. Her dad is kind of just like, you're getting your PhD, you're about to be like on the educational totem pole, the top of it. So why aren't you happy? She's like, I don't know. So she's really kind of like a straight edge type of girl. So she's not the type to go to like Vegas, you know, get drunkenly married or do something like that until she does. And she gets married to a Japanese woman. So it's a sapphic contemporary romance, I believe. And I usually don't read contemporaries, but if the main character is a black girl and the second main character is also a woman of color and it's a sapphic romance, it sounds great, honestly. So I'm gonna give it 5-star predictions. It sounds great. Ooh, battery, don't come at me. Next book is How We Fall Apart by Katie Zhao. YA thriller. Ooh, if I'm going to start thrillers, it will be through YA, because adult thrillers scare me. I'm not like frightened, like I like to be scared, but they scare me in like, I don't know, I can't really do it. A Nancy Lo is shocked. Her former best friend goes missing, then her and her current group of friends are seen as the prime suspect, someone anonymously incriminating them via the school's social media app. It's Gossip Girl. It's a Gossip Girl. It's Murders of Gossip Girl. If it's on Kindle Unlimited, I'll read it. If it's on Kindle Unlimited, I will read it. Yeah, that's it. That's as far as I'm going with that. The next book is Lore, which comes out very, very early in the year. Lore by Alexandra Bracken. I don't know anything about this. It is, again, young. I'm really going young adult. So every 7 years, the Agnes begin as punishment for past rebellion. 9 Greek gods are first to walk forward as mortals. I love Greek god retellings. I don't like fairy tale retellings. Love Greek god retellings. Hunted by the descendants of aging bloodlines, all eager to kill the god and seize the divine power and mortality. Long ago, Lore fled the brutal world. So a rival line killed the main character's family, and she hasn't really thought of getting revenge on the god who is responsible for all this. So she hasn't really thought about that. And then the next hunt comes on New York City. So the goddesses and some of them form alliances to kind of bring out their revenge. I think that's what I know. The cover is really cool. I like it. The Medusa-esque. I'm truly not that interested in the story. Okay, so this next one is called One Carefree Day by Whitney Amazine, Black woman author, and this is about a girl who suffers with anxiety, a Black girl who suffers with anxiety, specifically OCD. I don't suffer from OCD. I have GAD, which is its own type of beast, but to see a Black girl at the center of a book, a young adult book about who has anxiety, and it has to do with her trying to deal with her anxiety, one day her rituals, because if you have OCD, typically you have different OCD rituals. One of her rituals goes too far. Her mother gives her an ultimatum: either you start taking your meds or she has to move out, which is so crazy. Black girl with anxiety, written by a Black female author. I'm gonna pre-order this. I'm pre-ordering this. This is going, add that to pre-order card, because I want to make sure I have it and I don't want to forget it, because I feel like it just seems so seen, because there's just so much. And I feel like anxiety specifically is something that everyone gets bouts of anxiety before a test, before something stressful, you get bouts of anxiety. But living with constant anxiety, and you really don't realize that you're kind of living on a whole nother spectrum until you start taking meds and until you see how different you are. But then taking meds comes with its whole slew of side effects. So I really, really want to see how this deals with that, because it's something that's so near and dear to my heart. Long story short, it's a pre-order. Add that to pre-order. The next book is by Nnedi Okarafor, a Nigerian author. This cover. The name of it is Remote Control. And here's the blurb. She's the adopted daughter of the Angel of Death. Beware of her, mind her, death guards her like its own. And it's a science fiction, a fantasy, adult science fiction by Nnedi Okarafor, Nigerian author. Black woman on the cover. Science fiction. What more do you want? This book was made for me. I'm going to get there. I predicted 5 stars. I haven't told you what it's about. The day Fatima forgot her name, death paid a visit. And from here on in, she would be known as Sankofa, a name that meant nothing to anyone but her, the only tied to her family and her fast. Her touch is death. With a glance, a town can fall. Powerful. And she walks alone, except for her fox companion, searching for an object that came from the sky and gave itself to her when the meteors fell. 5-star prediction. 5 stars. Nothing less. Nnedi Okarafor would never steer me wrong. Sing Me Forgotten is the next book. The cover looks very fairy tale retelling, which I don't like. So Issa does not exist, at least not beyond the opulent walls of the opera house. So the main character is a girl who can manipulate memories when she sings, and she was taken in by the owner of the opera house. And one day she breaks the one cardinal rule of the opera house by meeting with a boy. So she's currently imprisoned by the leader of the opera house. She meets a boy, and in his voice, because the voice can manipulate, she finds memories that tell her how she can escape her prison. So it does say that this is a retelling. I'm not sure what the retelling would be. Is it Phantom of the Opera? Is it Beauty and the Beast? Is it Goldilocks? Not Goldilocks. Is it the one where she in the tower? Tangled? Varela? Rapunzel? Is it Rapunzel? I don't know. I'm not too much a fan of a retelling. It sounds very fairy tale romancy. It just does nothing to me. Does it sound cool to be? She struggles with her growing feelings for Merkin, and she learns in order to take charge of her own destiny, she must become the monster the world tried to drown in the first place. That last line is saving it. Maybe if it's free. You know, none of these books are returned to sender for now. The Chosen and the Beautiful by Nghi. I think that's how you say her name, Nghi. So I know about this one. So this is about a queer Asian immigrant who is adopted and treated as like a token or an exotic, just like, you know, if you're a person of color, being treated as like the exotic one, the different one, the blah, blah, blah one in your group, in a class, in any of these settings. So that is what's currently happening with her. And this takes place in the 1920s. So people are saying it's something like a Gatsby, coming of age Gatsby for an Asian queer immigrant. I don't like books set in the past. I don't like it. It says in the jazz age, but I identify with the story. I identify with the feelings that come with being tokenized your whole life. So because of that, I'm gonna read it if it's free. I'm gonna read it if it's on Kindle Unlimited. Maybe if it's free. I just don't like books. I'm so hard. I don't like books in the 1920s so much. I don't like books in the past, but it's just not so good. But you know what? I'll pay for it. You know, I'll pay you money for it. I'd pay for it. Okay. So next one is The Echo Wife, and I have heard about this one. The only thing I've heard actually about this one is that it is a thriller. Echo Wife is non-stop thriller, perfect for readers of Big Little Lies and enthusiasts of killing, eat, and Westworld. See, I like sci-fi, and it's about genetic clones. Whoa, okay. So this is what's happening. I just read the synopsis. So the clone is having an affair with the original's husband. and then he dies. So the clone, I said that, so I was so interested, but the clone is having an affair with the original's husband and then she dies. Clone is having an affair with the original's husband and then the husband dies and they have to clean it up. No, I don't like it. I don't like it. Return it to sender. I will not be engaging in it. I can see how people would engage in it. I can see if you do engage in it, I can see it. I see you. I understand why you would think you would need to. I don't understand why you would actually. But okay, now let's go. Now, you know what? This actually the cream of the crop right here. I saved the best for last. The Gilded Wolves. This cover. It's by Namina Forna, Black woman author. This cover girl is waiting for a ceremony that happens when she's 16 that shows whether or not her blood will run red or run gold. If it runs gold, then she's different. If she runs red, then she will be accepted into the village. 5-star prediction. You can't tell me it's not. You can't tell me it's not. Fantasy, Black woman author, Black girl on the cover, blood running gold, everything I want in life. The next one is Infinity Court. 18-year-old Nami Miyamoto, the main character, is white woman author writing about a person of color. It's her life is just beginning. She has a great family. So this is about a girl who is murdered on the day of her graduation. So she's about to graduate, but to graduate school, about she confessed to the boy she loves, about to do all these things. Then she's murdered. And then when she wakes up, she's in a place called Infinity, where the human consciousness goes when the body is dead in the real world. And there's kind of like a Siri counterpart that kind of owns this virtual world. So the name of the Siri counterpart is Ophelia. It's a virtual assistant that is used by humans on Earth, and it's taken over the afterlife, and she tries to overthrow it. This sounds so interesting. So, 5-star prediction. I'm not easy to please. I'm not hard to please. You see how many 5-star predictions? I'm not hard to please. You just need to have A, B, C, D to the F, and I'll buy your book. The next one is The Iron Raven. This one, Robin Goodfellow, Puck. It's about Puck. Julie Kagawa, doesn't she have, this is another Iron Fae book. Oh my gosh. I can't read about it because I haven't read the rest of the series, so... I did DNF one book in the series, but I want to pick it up. Oh my gosh, why did I add this? Why did I add this one? You know, I'm going to buy it, but I'm probably only going to get it in ebook because I can't take any more of that series. I have like 4 of the books. Wings of Ebony. See, here we go again with the mythology, science fiction, fantasy, Black woman author, hitting all the points, cover on point. Black teen from Houston, godly ancestry. So this starts off with a tragedy. Her mother is shot. The main character's mother is shot dead at her doorstep. Life for her and her younger sister changes completely, and to go live with the father that she never knew. And it's a hidden island of magic wielders. She's the only half god, half human there. Ends up being able to escape and then go back to Houston, try to find her sister, try to find her mother, all of these things. Nothing less but 5 stars. Nothing less. This next one, I'm not going to read the synopsis for just because I don't think I haven't read the 3rd book, but it's supposed to be the 4th book in the Graceland series. If you read Graceland, if you're a Graceland OG, you've been reading YA since a long time. You know Graceland is that girl. You know Graceland's the cream of the crop. You know Graceland's at the top of the totem pole. So I don't know, dude. I might just I'm not pre-ordering this. But it's a 5-star prediction because Graceland series, nothing less. Kristen Kishore is giving you nothing less but 5 stars. Witches steeped in gold. First of all, look at this cover. Tell me that's not me. It's about 2 witches who are sworn enemies who have to unite and work together to take down a mutual threat. It's a Jamaican-inspired fantasy debut. Black woman author, Black woman on the cover, Jamaican-inspired. It's a debut. 5-star predictions. So in the end, I think I did pretty good. So 1 add to pre-order card, that's just me. I would only do 1. I have 11 5-star predictions. 4 that I will only buy in ebook or mass market paperback. 5 that I'll only read if it's free, and 1 that I think needs to reverse that and go back to the sender, go back to the author because it's not for me. So this was pretty good. So my battery's about to run out, but thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you got some recommendations of new 2021 new releases that you are interested in. I think I did pretty good. It's very sparse, you know. I don't think I was too hard on anybody. I think I actually went easy on the girls. I think I went easy on the team because a lot of these are 5-star predictions, you know. So let me know what you think of these books. Let me know if there's books not here that you are anticipating for 2020. I would love to know, and I'll talk to you guys later.